Do you want to have the realest conversation in your life? Like the realest shit you ever heard in your life? Your life is a lie. Think about it. Your life is a lie. The one world that you live in right now, the one world that you live in right now is a lie. You've been born into a lie. Life tricked you. And what I mean by life tricked you is everything they tell you about history is false. I'm going to show you several videos for evidence supporting my claims that your life is a lie. First thing we're going to talk about. God gave me a dream. God gave me a dream somewhat last year. And in this dream, the seraph angel Gabriel picked me up. And he was picking me up. He was flying me up in the sky. And when he picked me up, there was a glass floor, an invisible floor that these demons that mess with me in my life, they hit. And they couldn't surpass this floor. I looked down, and when I seen, it was like a big glass floor that was in the sky, that every single demon that attacks me, they look different. It was red ones, skinny ones, it was big like smoke ones. All those demons were like on the glass and couldn't get past it, and they couldn't make it past to where the angel was taking me and that guy he was saving. And in the moment, Gabriel was gathering a lightning ball in his hand, I kid you not, and he was casting it down at the floor. I'm guessing it's going to surpass through the floor and hit them, but there was a glass floor. God showed me that, right? Hillary Clinton said in several different speeches, she has talked about the glass floor. There's a glass floor. She refers to a glass floor being broken several different times.
Biggest crack in that glass ceiling yet. Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. We have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now. It may be hard to see tonight, but we are all standing under a glass ceiling right now.
Take that how you want to take it. But I told you, God showed me there is a glass floor, the firmament. The Bible talks about the firmament, okay? There's a glass floor that we cannot surpass. That's why the moon landing was faked. That's why all this stuff was faked. That's why they've never been to Mars. There's no rover on Mars, okay? All this stuff is faked. They want you to think we can do a lot more than we can. My second claim of evidence here. The Sound of Freedom. There's a movie coming out called The Sound of Freedom that's being displayed in theaters right now, and it's supposed to be a spiritual movie, I'm guessing, about Jesus Christ, somehow the glorification to Christianity, right? And there's all types of errors happening. And the main actor Jim has an interview on a news channel, and he talks about how he played on the Passion of Christ. When he played on the Passion of Christ, ever since he's had that role in that film, he couldn't be cast in Hollywood anymore, just because he played in the Passion of Christ. You could tell he's a pro-Christian man, and he has Jesus Christ in his heart. You can tell. You can hear the authenticity in his speech when he talks to you about it. You can feel it. Now, in this interview, he's going to talk about how difficult it is as a Christian just to get the message out there and for people to hear the true message. Now, when you go to these movie theaters and you see the new movies, Evil Dead Rise, etc., you don't have issues in the movie theaters that cause people to be in discomfort and want to leave the movie theaters and not watch the film. But I'm going to give you evidence right here that there's a spiritual war going on as we speak, a spiritual war. They want to tell you in school that the Bible's not real. They ban this stuff. They know this is the most important thing for any human being, which is God, your relationship with God. They know this, and they ban this from schools. You can't pray in schools, anything like that. But nevertheless, they won't let you watch movies of God in peace. Check this out.
Excuse me. This horrible smell. It smells almost like an electrical fire. We're getting refunds for the Sound of Freedom because apparently the water pressure in the bathrooms aren't working here, so no one can watch.
Literally had the lights
They kept the lights on the entire movie.
Who does that?
Should be back up in about, I'd say about 5 minutes, okay?
And they turn the movie off.
Just to let you guys know again, it is gonna get hot. And it's gonna be like a double.
So why is it only this one though, not all the other ones?
It's almost like they don't want the movie to be seen. If you know it's a real spiritual battle out here, then...
Now that's Now that's all the issues a lot of people have been facing trying to go to the premiere of Sounds of Freedom. But listen to Jim himself describe exactly what he went through when he was growing through his time in acting, being a Christian.
But some of us are playing Judas. Many of us are politicians. You see, there's three parts in this story. You got the good and you got the evil. But most, they're on the fence. That's most. And the fight is over that middle third. Well, I'm going to take as many of these middle third with me as I can. Steve, I can start with...
Yes, sir.
I want to start with you. I'm so tired right now. I want to say, I want to start with you and I trust you. You were with us on the Passion of the Christ. You saw what we went through. We were called anti-Semitic. Well, unlike many of you, I believe Jesus was a Jew. And I'm certainly not anti-Semitic. How could I be? I love the Son of Man. And he led us in this direction. And he's leading me towards the children. And I know right now, if we don't get 2 million people for these 2 million children, I've not done my job. And I've been outdone by a very, very, very brave man named Tim Ballard, who's put his life on the line. And he put his life on the line for bringing me in. See, when Fox was doing this movie, they didn't want me. I'm not saying all of Fox doesn't want me. I'm saying at the power positions, they would not hire me, and I was one of their main guys. I did a movie called The Thin Red Line, and then suddenly after The Passion, I couldn't get a job. The studios wouldn't hire me, but see, they're all controlled by the central banks. People have to... Do you really think Biden is the president of the United States? Do you really think he's running our country? Please. Who above him? Who are the puppeteers? Here's how you'll know that everything I've said is the truth. When they come out and they just blast me. They have to. They have no choice. Because the devil has no choice in this matter. God is coming for him. And I'm talking about the Christ, Jesus God. That is the one that's coming after him. And there's a big storm coming. And they know it. So they have to go and threaten you with everything from Q, Anon, or whatever they want to say. Do you know what Q really means? It means question. That's what one of these people told me. And I said, well, that seems like a good thing. Anon, question, right? Anons then go out and research it to see if it's true. Because we've been fed their lies. Think about Monday. What happened? A Durham report was dropped. The FBI, the CIA, all of these guys are involved. Now, I know it's not all of them. The lower guys are probably just crying. But I'm asking you, warriors, to come out and tell the truth. If we would just unite. You know, I love that scene from Mel Gibson. I love that movie. When he runs out, where are you going? I'm going to pick a fight. Well, I'm here to pick one right now. Because I'll do it for my children. I'll do it for your children.
What is this? Why is this film so... What is it about this movie that makes people in the film industry and other places not want to see it in theaters?
I'll give you one plain example. We had 1,500 patriots, people that were interested in seeing the film in Las Vegas. During one part of the film, everybody in the audience started whispering. And of course, you're watching the viewers to see if they're even interested in the movie, but they were very, very locked in. And at one point, they all started whispering, and I thought that was... I've never seen that before. So after the movie, I asked him a couple of questions, and then I had to ask, why were you whispering at this one particular part in the movie? And I didn't pick up on it.
Video number 3 for Why Your Life is a Lie. Giants. Nephilim of the Holy Bible. It tells you that angels of God came down, the sons of God came down to the daughters of men, and they started to mate with them and procreate with them. And what was born of that was Nephilims. Nephilims of the Holy Bible. Nephilims, giants, super tall people, 20 feet, 10 feet, 8 feet. All these people were cannibalistic. They ate up the lands. They couldn't stop eating. They constantly ate and their appetite was never fulfilled. They barely could speak. They didn't know their destiny. and they were only here to do harm to the world. Because Nephilims, their souls were never registered in heaven. The soul and spirit of a Nephilim, when they were born, they weren't created by God, because God never gave those angels permissions to come mate with the daughters of men. The giants died, giants lived, and I'm going to give you evidence here. Stay in this video. What happened to them? Well, they turned into demons. That's what happened to them. They turned into demons. So all these demons that really walk around on earth and mess with certain people, certain Christians that are truly in Christianity know that demons are real. And those spirits are disembodied Nephilim that lived thousands of years ago. I'm going to give you a video here. I promoted it on both of my pages today. And here's just going to give you evidence of how giants lived among us and how it's always been under our nose and nobody talks about it. They don't promote this in the history books in school. This isn't taught in history class, but it's true history.
Supposed to be some of the most verified images of giants. There's a part of history that just is not being told. Hieroglyphics in Egypt showing massive human-like entities.
There's a giant footprint in granite in South Africa.
It's about as tall as you are, 6 foot tall, a footprint.
Look at this. There's the big toe and the other 4 toes down to the small toe, down to the heel. What's fascinating about this is this piece sticking out here. It's like when you put your foot in mud and you pull it out, your toes will lift up a little mud.
That's got to be the foot of a 20 to 40 foot creature.
There was another kind of human on this planet which wouldn't go along with Darwinian evolution.
There was a petrified finger that was found. Tell us about that. Was it biological?
Oh, very much so. So they've scanned it. They can see the tendons and the bones, and it's very much organic finger bone with the fingernail as well. And if you would have attached that to a human and done the analysis, it would have been over 20 foot tall. Maybe we're talking Anunnaki or the offspring, the Nephilim, here on Earth. Maybe these Bible stories have more to tell us than we're giving them credit for.
In the Hebrew Bible, the Nephilim were the sons of gods. They were also known as giants and considered to be the fallen ones. Michael Mott's research suggests that they might have retreated underground.
Of the tribe that said that they were guarding the entrance to the inner earth. They said it would take maybe a couple of weeks to finally get down far enough where they would meet the inhabitants, and they were just these gigantic people, anywhere between 10 and 11.5 feet tall. They talked about how when they got far enough down, one of the things they saw was basically molten rock. And that's exactly what modern science tells us you should find underneath the earth. And how would a primitive people know that?
The evidence left behind for the giants on this planet is staggering.
I have found bones and body parts in the mountains that are 50 times, 100 times, 500 times the size of humans. So the ancient stories of giants on Earth have been passed on over and over again. There's definitely an agenda to hide the origins of humanity, to hide the true history of our species, the true history of the planet, of what happened here. Our entire history has been rewritten and hidden from us for so long.
Giants have been found.
So there's over 1,500 newspaper articles from the early 1900s, late 1800s of non-stop discoveries of giant bones.
There are over 100 large human-looking mysterious footprints preserved in stone for thousands of years all over the world.
What are these giants and what happened to them?
Ain't that weird? When dinosaurs were around in the first world, before the flood, you had monsters. You had, and I'm going to tell you why you had monsters, such as all these mythological creatures, sirens, all the women that made it with the Nephilim, the sons of God, all the women that were caught up in that love affair with angels, they turned into sirens, which are mermaids. You have cyclopses, which are horses and human beings. There are stories, I believe, in the Dead Sea Scrolls and in the Book of Enoch, and it talks about how these angels would mate with the beast of the land and make all types of abominations and creatures and start changing, corrupting the DNA of man. I believe that's why God actually flooded the world. He flooded the world because mankind's DNA was no more pure. It wasn't pure anymore because it was corrupted. When they were doing that, they were making all types of abominable beasts upon the land. We had dinosaurs. This world was the world that we show in movies. That world was once on Earth before. That's where they got the idea from. You can't think that somehow all these directors and film writers somehow came up with these crazy visualizations and ideas for how a world could be with all these mythological creatures and all this stuff that are based off of biblical fact and biblical support. With that being said, they didn't come up with this. This all existed before. Dinosaurs existed before. We found the skeletons of them. They're only giving you 1% of what truly existed, which are dinosaur fossils. But they aren't telling you that Nephilim and giants existed because they're going to bring them back. That's going to be the fall of mankind. They're working with Nephilim and giant spirits and demons to help the kingdom of Satan progress onto mankind, to force mankind to worship him and fall with him. In this video I'm going to show you right here, this is crazy. This is true evidence. This is raw footage. Somebody caught a lightning strike hitting a pole, hitting a telephone pole. But when it hit the telephone pole, the light during the storm at nighttime illuminated. And in these small frames of a second, you catch a monster that's taller than a house. Has to be 40 feet tall, because you're going to see a house down to the left of it when it illuminates. And this beast flies off. Y'all, these things are in our face and real. Aliens just got confirmed in Las Vegas in May. Alien UFO landing was really confirmed, and they got footage of these real aliens on Ring doorbell camera, like what they actually look like. Those are demons. This is real. It can't get any faker than that. Zombies coming next. You could best believe zombies are coming next. Aliens, demons, monsters, and giants. It's all going to come. After the rapture, it's going to get real ugly for the world. You're going to see the true things of these movies in the Holy Bible, in the book of Revelation, unveil and unfold before your eyes. Now look at this video. Deny it all you want to. That's scary and that's crazy. Those things could be outside your house while you're sleeping. You wouldn't even know it. They're spirits, but somehow they're getting their physical manifestations to show now. And this is crazy. I think it has to do with CERN. Video number 4. They got a star on camera from a telescope. They put a camera lens to a telescope, and they were looking at a star in development. You can literally see the hand of God stirring inside of the star as the star is developing. You can get a telescope and look up far enough if you wanted to. You just got to have the right amount of money, but the star is up there. You can literally see God's left hand stirring up this star.
This is literally a hand mixing up a star on a telescope. You can see this on a real telescope. That is a hand mixing up a star. That is a hand. That is literally a hand. That is a hand mixing up a star. With it just rubbing, it's just rubbing the star. It's literally just a hand rubbing the star. And you can look at this with a real telescope. This is real footage. This is just a hand mixing a star. And this is a real constellation or star they call God's hand or something. But it's literally a human hand mixing up a...
Video number 5. Make sure y'all make sure you support this video, share it, and like it, because this video might get taken down simply because of this video I'm about to show you right here. John F. Kennedy's assassination was a lie. Even the way they tell you how it happened, even the conspiracy theories behind John F. Kennedy's assassination were lies. They wanted you to believe Lee Harvey Oswald did it. They wanted you to also believe there was a magic bullet in play, and they also want you to believe there could have been a third to a second shooter. All these third-party conspiracy theories. But you know what's the truth behind how John F. Kennedy, the president of the United States, talking about the secret societies and revealing certain things that the government didn't want the general population to know. Do you want to know how John F. Kennedy really died? The driver of John F. Kennedy's car killed him. Somebody messed with the colors and the hue on the video and made it to where you could see certain dark spots that you couldn't on the original old footage, the old grainy footage that was provided to the general population. In this video, you're going to see the driver of the car display a gun and shoot John F. Kennedy in the head. Check this video out.
Was the driver in the car?
The media isn't on our side. If you speak up or question anything, you're crazy or on drugs. It's all a conspiracy. No, it's not crazy to question everything.
Well, it took me 16 years to find this film because it has really been withheld. And what you're seeing here is the motorcade on Elm Street passing in front of the book depository building. Kennedy has been shot in the throat, and Jacqueline is pulling him toward her, trying to comfort him, and she's in shock. At this time, you see the driver turn around with a pistol in his left hand,
Did you hear? The driver killed
and
him.
shoots the president directly in the head. The weapon, watch the driver, his name is William Greer. He was, in fact, a Secret Service agent. The weapon is an electrically operated, gas-powered assassination pistol built especially for the Central Intelligence Agency.
You don't see any purple smoke from
That's correct. Because
what you think is a pistol there on the right-hand corner, lower right-hand corner.
Now watch the driver.
Well, it's an air-operated pistol. It's pneumatic. And it actually fired an exploding pellet, which injected shellfish toxin into the story building. Kennedy has been shot in the throat, and Jacqueline is pulling him toward her, trying to comfort him, and she's in shock. At this time, you see the driver turn around with a pistol in his left hand, firing over his right shoulder, and shoots the president.
Kennedy went against many evil things, so he had to be
removed. Naval Hospital in Washington, D.C.
I don't know what to say no more. There's a lot of lies that we've been provided. And we've been fed. And what I want to say to you is pray to God for the truth. But make sure you support this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or follow. Whichever platform you see this video on, make sure you follow me, man. Because I'm going to make a part 2. And it's going to be better than this one. Because it's some deeper stuff. But we out.